My name is Volker Bassen and I am the founder of the East African Whale Shark Trust. I started the Whale Shark Trust 4 years ago. The circumstances are quite sad actually. We had been out diving and we came up from our dive, and in the distance I could see a local fishing boat in a cloud of blood, and we saw some commotion at the surface, so we decided to go and check out what was going on. As we came there, we see this whale shark coming up, trashing at the surface without a tail, and it was spurting blood. We could see something sticking out of the fishing boat, and we came closer and I recognized a caudal fin of a whale shark. I couldn't believe my eyes. So I asked the fishermen what's going on, and they told me that they had caught this whale shark, but the caudal fin was so badly entangled that they decided to cut the caudal fin off. They didn't want to destroy their net. That would have cost them maybe 10 euros to repair and taken them about 4 or 5 hours. So the easier option was actually to cut the caudal fin. One of the goals of the East African Whale Shark Trust is actually to create more awareness about the whale shark in the local communities, especially the fishing villages. We go into local schools where we set up projector equipment and we beam one of the awareness films that we have made. It's a way to go forward when it comes to educating children, because the children will then go home to dad and say, "Dad, you know, you have to stop killing whale sharks and turtles. They are more valuable to us alive than dead." And that seems to be working very well. When it comes to threats facing whale sharks here in Kenya, these shark nets that the fishermen are using, 4-inch nylon nets, are the biggest single threat. It's a very short time solution, which leads to pollution, because when they lose these nets, they create havoc on our reef. They keep on fishing for decades if you lose them. They're killing a lot of turtles. The Indiani Beach, which is about 30-kilometer beach, they kill about 1,000 turtles a year. That's like 3 turtles at least every day. The fishermen are actually putting the nets on the reef, so they're also destroying corals at the same time. They told me that they are after lobster. There are other ways to catch lobsters, like lobster trap and so on. We have to do something about it, and we have to do it very fast, because turtles are dying every day. The Trust is also very much involved in research. We have done several tagging expeditions over the years. This year was our 4th tagging expedition. We have been taking biopsy samples. We have also attached 22 satellite tags to whale sharks. This year we started with acoustic tags, which will give us a little bit more information about movement between different sites and areas, and how long they stay in one area, when they arrive, when they leave. The information received by these PAT tags, which are pop-off archival satellite tags, are quite amazing. For instance, we had a whale shark that has been diving to 1,780 meters. That is almost 2 kilometers depth. And it's a tropical shark, so you would think it likes warm water, but the temperature down there was only 5 degrees. Another shark swam all the way from Holbox to the middle of the ocean between South Africa and South America and traveled 8,000 kilometers in 150 days. That must be a world record. Each whale shark is unique in the way that each pattern of the whale sharks is different. There's not one whale shark alike. It's like the human fingerprint. And this can help us in identifying whale sharks. Kenya is probably the only place in the world where you can go out in the morning and swim with a whale shark, the biggest fish in the ocean, the gentle giant of the ocean, and then have a 30-minute drive inland and track the biggest land animal, the elephant, in the afternoon. That must be unbeatable. way forward for the trust is to illegalize any hunting of whale sharks. We have had reports, especially in northern Kenya, that they've started to target whale sharks. In many parts of the world, it is illegal to catch a whale shark. In Australia, for instance, in India, it's recently been illegalized. In South Africa, we are putting pressure on KWS to help us with that. I often get the question from children in particular, so what would happen if the whale shark was to become extinct? Well, that is a very difficult question to answer, but I do know one thing. The whale shark roamed our oceans before the dinosaurs. I mean, if we human beings were to be responsible for the whale shark becoming extinct, I think that is a very clear indication that we're heading straight towards our own extinction.